What is up, everybody? I'm back. Video number 122 of 365. I'm Samantha, and I'm a therapist, and I'm doing a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. So we are a third of the way through this journey. I can't believe it. Man, we're like 4 months in. This is just unreal, and I'm loving it. So thank you all for being here with me through this whole thing. It has been crazy. And I thought today we would talk about what do you do when you wake up in your old self? When yesterday you were feeling so good, you were in your new self, you were becoming your new self, and you really liked the way that you felt yesterday, and then you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today. And I had an awesome subscriber ask the question, what do I do when, I was feeling so good yesterday, and then I wake up and what does this mean? When I'm waking up feeling like the old me again. So there's a lot of factors to this, but really it is that, it hasn't solidified yet in your mind, and you got to practice. It's like building a muscle in the gym. You can't just go to the gym one time and expect to be like, wow, I've got muscles all over my body and I never have to come back here and this is amazing. I look at this like this is the way we're going to think for the rest of our lives. We're not just going to do it for a little while and see what happens and then stop. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong too with this. This becomes who you are. So when you change your identity, you're becoming a new person, literally. I had a session just a little bit ago. That's why this video is coming out a little bit later, but I had a session and we were talking about the same subject, about how subtle our thoughts are, our inner conversations. So we talked a lot about inner conversations and how just even, like I mentioned, gossiping, complaining, talking about things from the past even, just in your head, or fighting with somebody in your head, or fighting with yourself in your head even. All of that contributes to the old self. That's the old self. We don't want to identify with any of that stuff anymore. That is the old you. And so that old self was programmed so long ago from other people that it's just an addiction. We're just addicted to the way we've always thought. That's really all that this is. It is just, it's a old story running in the background, like it's on a tape player. That shows my age. A tape player, cassette player, or, some, I don't know, you got what, an MP3 in your, I think it's MP3 in your ear, your AirPods, whatever you use. And you're hearing this song, this story over and over and over in your head. And it just became so ingrained. You became so addicted to hearing it and saying it to yourself and talking to other people about it that it became so ingrained that it's just stuck. That's just where you're at. And so every single moment that you're awake, you wake up, you decide who you're going to be. And I start with the smallest thing that became the biggest thing for me, which was I purchased an alarm clock instead of using my phone, because when I use my phone, I know that I'm going to inevitably hit snooze. And that is just terrible for me because I would do it not once, but sometimes 3 times. And then you're off track for the day. And most of the time I would stay on track and I'd be fine, mostly. But now, I've got to do so many things that I really want to level up in so many areas that I've got to turn off the alarm as soon as it goes off. That's the first thing I've got to do. And sometimes the smallest thing will turn into the biggest thing when you're trying to change who you are. And so for me, that was one of the most, the easiest thing I could do was just start there and be like, okay, I've got to get up at 5:30 every morning. Pretty soon, I'm probably going to start doing 5. The earliest I'd probably do is 4:30, but I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. That's still nighttime for me. So 5 o'clock maybe eventually. But, and it's because I have so many things I want to get done and I'm so excited about doing them. And you have to create that excitement inside yourself to say, I really, really want to get up so I can start changing myself, start leveling up myself. Call it leveling up. Don't say, I need to fix myself. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you're ready to level up. Your soul is like, come on, keep up with me, guy. Come on, let's go. But you're not keeping up. And that's why we get mad and depressed, because we're really not keeping up with the growth that we have created. And so it's there waiting for us to move towards it, but we just don't do it. We're stubborn, we're stuck, we're addicted, whatever the case is. So it's just practice. And you have to remember to not tell the old story, like as much as possible, like ever. Like never say it again, never. Because it's so subtle. I gave the example of like, even when we, for some reason, humans connect through complaining or gossip. So like the complaint might be like, it's a rainy day and you walk into a store and you like connect with somebody and you're like, oh God, I hate this rain. I'm all wet. And they're like, oh, I know, me too. I hate rain too. And it's just like this constant, back and forth of like pretty much negativity, but yet you're feeling like you just found your best friend. So we just tend to complain. And then the same thing with gossip. Like, did you hear what they did? And, it's just a whole thing. And so in my mind, I want to like shift from being that way, because I think we've all been that way at some point in our lives. I know I was before, and it felt good in the moment because you're connecting with somebody, but it was never who I actually was. I never felt good about it, like ever. It felt good in the moment to connect, again, because I didn't want to be alone. Maybe you're at a workshop or something, there's 1,000 people there, and you just find somebody to connect with, and you complain about how long the line is to get in or something. I don't know. It's just so subtle, but I never felt good about it. I never felt good inside being that way. And so now I embrace long lines. I love long lines. I look around and have a good time in my mind, and you just have to train yourself that way. Look at this is brain training. This is advanced training. Not a lot of people know that their imagination is creating their reality. So you have to remember, everything you're imagining is going to eventually project out. So what you're thinking and feeling about yourself is going to project out. That's why I start with self. That's why Neville Goddard said, there's no one to change but self. There's nothing to change but self. That's what I say. Like, there's nothing to change but yourself. Because as soon as you change internally, everything else will change around you. So it's just futile effort to go outside of yourself anyway, to look at anybody or anything to change, including your specific person, which I promise I will be doing a series on specific person, because I know that is like a huge topic. And I've had much experience in that area, I will say, like 100% awesome experience in that area, and not so awesome at the same time. Yeah. But it teaches you about who you're being. And so you've got to ask yourself, who am I being? Who am I being? Because if you're being that same self, you're going to get the same results. So every morning when you wake up, just because you did the work the night before does not mean that you're done. It's like you're still in the oven, you're still cooking. You got to remember that. Like, you're not ready yet. If you solidified your identity by doing it one time, then cool. I do believe we can shift that fast. But as humans, I don't think we want to shift that fast sometimes. I think we want to learn the journey along the way, learn the lessons that come along. And I think we have kind of some fun doing that, actually. And so you got to figure out, who am I being? Why am I being that way? Where did these thoughts even come from? Can I just let go of them? Can I just decide to like let go of the old story right now? Yeah, I think you can. Like, just decide. I decided that one day. I was like, I've just got to let go of this old story. I've got to. And then once you kind of let go of that, then you've got to monitor yourself. Be aware. Just be conscious and aware of what you're thinking. Be the observer of your thoughts, because that's really all you are anyways. You're observing your own thoughts. You are not your thoughts. So just observe and think about, well, okay, I'm thinking this set of thoughts that I thought yesterday. Why am I still thinking that? Even though I did this mirror work yesterday and I was telling myself I love myself and I acknowledged the old story. I said, I'm letting it go. I'm going to create this new story. I plugged that in and I felt unlimited. I felt amazing. I felt passionate. And then I wake up the next day and it's like, I'm back into the old self. Well, that's really just because it just needs to be more solidified. You just got to keep being it. And know that there's nothing to fix. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing going wrong ever. It's just, I believe, it's just the soul saying, hey, keep up with your growth, dude. You haven't done it yet. Like, keep up with it. There's something here that's needing to be changed so you can heal something. Because we don't heal until we change internally. Then that's when healing takes place. The body can heal itself from anything. The mind can heal itself from anything. We just have to change ourselves, which is changing our identity, changing the way we think and believe and feel about ourselves. So start programming in the thoughts that you want your brain to think, because your brain is going to think the same way it's always thought. It's going to go on autopilot no matter what. I don't care what anybody says about that. It is programmed in there, and it will show you every time that that is true. And practice thinking. Like, I did some inner conversations yesterday, and it was crazy to see what happened afterwards. It was nuts. And you just practice, like, you go inside your mind, you give yourself what you're not getting. So if it can be outlandish. It can be like I did an inner conversation with a person earlier. We said, they're not sure if they want to leave their job or not. And I said, well, how about you say that they say, man, we don't deserve an employee like you. And because we love you so much and you're the most amazing person, we don't want to lose you. We're going to start paying you 6 figures. And just like this whole conversation inside the mind goes on, and it didn't actually happen in 3D, but it happened somewhere else. And you're training and teaching your body to feel like it's already in that projected future reality. So, and as Joe Dispenza says, and I'm going to be teaching a lot from Joe Dispenza kind of in my own way, but when you marry an intention with an elevated emotion, that's when everything starts to change. You change. So you've got to be consciously aware of these things. Like I said from the get-go, I like to keep it very simple. I've got so many things in my noggin that I could pass to you, and they're kind of over the head, and they're hard for me to explain sometimes. So I'm going to find a way to explain them a little bit better and like more simple, if I could talk. But I like to keep it very simple. Just, if you're not feeling good, you're telling the old story. So we got to tell a new story. Mostly everything that you're thinking is the old story, if you notice. Like, really watch out for complaining. Watch out for thinking the same thoughts. Like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That always happens that way. I knew it. Complaining, gossip. I would recommend not watching the news. I would recommend getting off social media too. I really would. I mean, you just got to watch what you're consuming. Like, watch that mental diet. What are you feeding yourself? What are you listening to? Are you listening to songs that make you feel sad? Stop. Stop. You got to stop it. Like, hear me in your head. Like, you got to stop it. You've got to, because you're programming that inside your head. Now, if you love horror movies and you watch horror movies and they make you feel good, watch them. But if they scare the crap out of you, don't watch them, because it's programming you in some way. And you just got to watch what you're consuming, watch what you're thinking, watch what you're believing, because your thoughts turn into a belief system. And then that creates your circumstances, your behaviors, your choices, and your circumstances. So remember to think about also, what is the identity that I want to become? Who is this person that I want to become? What would they think? What would they feel? How would they speak, maybe? And that's whenever I started YouTube, like I've said. I had to decide that I was going to get over my fear. I just had to, because that's what was holding me back. The fear was holding me back of using my voice. And I knew I had a voice inside of me to use, because in my client sessions, they would sometimes sound like the way I'm talking to you right now. I just pretend like I'm talking to somebody, which I am. But it's like, all I needed to do was turn on a camera, and I would have had a lot of content over the years that I could have used. But I finally got comfortable with what I wanted to say. And I'm still working on that. It's not 100% polished, and that's okay. It will be someday. I think it will really be. And I'll get there, but I'm only a third of the way there. And so you have to give yourself grace a lot. Like, be gentle with yourself. You deserve grace. You deserve to be gentle with yourself. You deserve to nurture yourself and take care of yourself. And you've got to keep watch of what you're letting into your mind, because a lot of times it's just not helpful. And so when you wake up tomorrow, just say, thank you. As you put your feet on the ground, just say, thank you. I can't wait to start this day. Maybe do some mirror work, like look into your eyes and say, I am starting this day fresh today. I'm a fresh me. I'm brand new every moment. Remember that. You're brand new every moment. And so if you're brand new every moment, it doesn't matter what the old story is. You're literally in the new story every moment. So what is your new story? Maybe some people don't know what the new story even is. Create a new story about yourself. I am this. I am this. I am this. Whatever follows I am, that is who you are. That is who you are being. So watch what you're saying about yourself and watch what you're engaging in with other people, because that is going to show what you're thinking and feeling about yourself. Watch that. Every time you pass a mirror, look at that mirror and say, damn, you're awesome. You're amazing. I love you. Everything that you wish somebody else would tell you, tell yourself. Give it to yourself. Throughout the day, give it to yourself. Tell yourself how amazing you are. I don't care how low you feel you are that day. Let's start programming this in. You've got every now moment to change that. And if you don't change it in the now moment, you're just going to keep spiraling. You don't deserve that anymore. It's abuse to yourself. You do not deserve that anymore to think that way. And only you can save you. It's just you battling you in your mind. That's it. That's the great news. We don't have to fix anything outside of ourselves. We just have to change internally what we're thinking. And that's it. And everything will shift. But you got to know what you want too. What do you want? And it might start with, what do I want to feel? You might not know exactly what you want, but how do I want to feel? And then you go internally, go inside yourself and say, I want to feel this way. So what's something that makes me feel good? And start thinking about something. Start talking, have an inner conversation with somebody. Start talking about something really outlandish, like, yeah, we're going to meet this weekend and go on the yacht. Are you ready? I'll take you on Saturday if you want. If you're ready to go, I'll pick you up on the yacht and we'll go to Hawaii or whatever. I don't know. Anything that you could think of that will make you feel so good. Pretend like you know celebrities. Talk to your favorite celebrities in your mind. Do some stuff like that, because it will generate this feeling where you'll feel good, and then you can kind of let it go. Because in a way, like, we don't believe that we're going to meet these celebrities possibly, but it still feels good inside. And so it's a lot easier to let it go if it's somebody you don't even know. It's just kind of like a fun thing to bring up if you think about a celebrity. Or maybe even a dead celebrity that you wish you could, meet, or wish you could have met when they were alive. Think about you're talking to them. Put Jesus in your mind and talk to Jesus. I mean, whatever you want to do, like, have a conversation with somebody, and I promise you're going to notice some changes really fast. I mean, I did this yesterday. I had weird things happen. You're going to notice just some weird stuff happen. And sometimes it's going to look like things are falling apart in some areas. And it's really because it's like the old reality is collapsing. We don't need it anymore. And you got to give time, a little bit of time. Time isn't real though. That's a whole other video. I'll get there with you guys, but it takes a little bit of time for your new reality to kind of come up to your level, because you've already changed so much that it might look like things are falling apart when they're really falling into place. That's one of my favorite quotes. So go inside your mind, and it's completely normal for you to kind of vacillate between the old and new self, because, you're so used to the old self that it's just going to be there for a while. And you just got to say, look, I'm done with you, old self. Thank you for getting me through this all these years, but I don't need you anymore. This is who I am now. And start saying, I am this now. I am this now. And get real aggressive if you have to. Like, nope, this is who I am. I don't care how delusional you feel. I don't care. Like, just do it. Nobody's going to know you're doing it. You don't have to tell anybody you watch this video. You don't have to, I'd love for you to share this video with the world if you want to. That'd be great. But you don't have to tell anybody that you're doing this. Nobody's going to know anything that you're doing inside your mind. So go there. That's where your safety is. That's where the fun is too. That's where your peace is. That's where your love is. It's all inside of you, because that's what you are. You're all of those things. So yeah, another ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back for another one tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions for videos, let me know. I'll get to them as I can. I would love all suggestions, and I will be back tomorrow. I hope you guys take care of yourselves tonight, and I hope you wake up tomorrow morning and you put your feet on the ground. You say thank you, And this is a brand new day. What am I going to do with it? How exciting. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be alive. What am I going to do today? What am I going to choose to do today? What am I going to choose to think today? What am I going to choose to believe today about myself? It's up to you. Nobody's doing it to you. It's happening through you. So what are you going to make happen through you tomorrow when you wake up? So go to bed tonight, have that inner conversation with somebody right before you go to sleep, or create a scene that implies that you're living from the end, like you already have what it is that you're wanting. Go to sleep, feel good, and wake up. See what happens. See what happens tomorrow. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you later. Bye.